Hello, dear, kind, and well-read people. When the professor speaks, even the gods fall silent. The cult city near Sarnitsa dates back to 20,000 BC according to Prof. Ana Raduncheva. The snake sanctuary is part of an entire network of more than 250 similar cult complexes scattered throughout the Rhodope Mountains. The ancient cult city near Sarnitsa, which aroused exceptional public interest when it was discovered in 2016, dates back to 20,000 BC. According to the results of research conducted by archaeologists and specialists in ancient history, the Snake City near Sarnitsa was carved by a highly developed civilization. Archaeologists state categorically. A group of journalists accidentally came across the rock complex, which resembles an ancient city, near the village of Sarnitsa in the Haskovo region. Two colleagues and I were heading toward Eagle Rocks to take drone photographs of the human profiles carved there, but we got lost in the forest, they recount. At one point, we saw the sharp peak of a rock protruding. Our surprise was complete when the drone revealed a majestic sight, a whole complex carved into the rocks. The best view of it is possible only from the air. The city has a clearly defined portal with a staircase leading to it. There are also niches carved into the rock, a hallmark of a sanctuary. On both sides of the portal stand tall towers carved into the stone, resembling coiled snakes and ending in snake heads. The entire complex is about 900 meters long, with the portal located near the center along the length of the rock. The members of the expedition further explain. The photographs were sent to prehistorians in Sofia, who described the find as something extraordinary and of international significance for archaeology and prehistory. Local shepherds say that years ago they used to bring their flocks to rest in the shade beneath the rock, says a local hereditary archaeologist, whose parents are centenarians. The view from the foot of the rocks is completely different, and from below the snake heads carved into the rock cannot be seen. The only thing that can be stated with certainty is that this place is much older than Machu Picchu, with which people immediately began comparing it. We may be talking about a civilization that predates the Thracians, or about a period around 20,000 years before Christ. It is known that Machu Picchu, also called the Lost City of the Incas, was built in the 15th century. It was created as the sacred mountain residence of the great ruler Pachacuti around 1440 AD, a century before his empire was destroyed by the Spanish in 1532. However, there are other similarities as well. Very few people lived in Machu Picchu during the rainy season when the elite left it. Likewise, only a small number of people seem to have lived at Dikilitash, and most likely they were members of the elite class of supreme priests, says Jivko Tenev. He adds that near Dikilitash lies the sanctuary Dogan Kaya, where carved human profiles were discovered. Prof. Ana Raduncheva, a specialist in prehistory, is the only Bulgarian archaeologist included in the team of an international research expedition that investigates traces left by an ancient civilization at the prehistoric sanctuaries of Balintash, Tadol, and Harmankaya. The expedition also includes geologist Prof. Robert Schoch, NASA archaeoastronomer Robert Bovell, and astrophysicist Thomas Brophy. The snake-like figures in the rocks above the village of Sarnitsa are unquestionably the work of human hands and not a natural phenomenon, states Prof. Raduncheva. The snake figures form something like a protective ring against the uninitiated. The society of these people was dual in nature. There was a form of secular authority, but the true rulers were the priests. The snake sanctuary is part of an entire network of more than 250 similar cult complexes scattered across the Rhodope Mountains. Prof. Raduncheva sees parallels to the rock-carved figures in artifacts found in Antioch in Asia Minor. There too, snake figures have been discovered in various depictions. A female figure with a snake's head, as well as a huge reptile seated on a throne. Similar sanctuaries exist in Italy, Spain, and throughout the Mediterranean region. The people who created this cult complex belonged to a highly developed society, says Prof. Raduncheva. According to her, the celestial sphere changes over a period of 2,000 years, and the creators of the Snake Temple complex followed the stars. Thus, at certain intervals, they migrated. They came from Asia Minor, then after 2 millennia migrated south again, through Greece toward Egypt and back to Asia Minor. Prof. Raduncheva is convinced. We are talking about a highly developed society of a migratory people who followed the patterns of the starry sky. They were also exceptionally skilled seafarers. Prof. Raduncheva adds. Evidence for this can be found in sanctuaries located on nearly all the islands of the Mediterranean Sea. According to her theory, these ancient highly developed migrants mixed with the local population. Later, these territories were inhabited by the Thracians, who used some of the sanctuaries. In a later era, Christian churches were built in these places. The sanctuary sites were not convenient for settlement, but they were strategically important from a military standpoint, and many observation posts and fortresses were erected on them. Prof. Raduncheva is adamant that the ancient snake complex is an archaeological treasure of global importance and possesses tourism potential comparable to that of Stonehenge in Great Britain. It will be interesting to discover whether the priestly caste, the highest social class of that time, lived in a city located near the sanctuary. Whether Dikilitash was that city remains to be determined by archaeologists, who face very difficult and risky work in the area, as access to it is extremely challenging. A different perspective on the ancient sanctuaries, shrouded in mystery and presenting a challenge even for UFO researchers,